Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, The Guided Way. I am your host and guide, Sean McCauley, and said I was going to do spreads based on relationships for this week, in which case, if you've forgotten, the ones we're going to be doing is completely for choices, love, deceit, and belonging. And again, of course, these cards are from the House of Night Wisdom Oracle cards created by Colette Baron Reed, which was also illustrated by, I just said their name. There we go. The cover and book design is by Daniel DeShanis, and the illustrations are by Jenna Del Cortaglia. So just want to make sure that they get credit where credit is due. And I'll be using 3 cards for each side out of the Witch's Tarot. Created by Ellen Dugan and illustrated by Mark Evans. And I'll be using the Tarot, of Wonderland, created by Barbara Moore and illustrated by Eugene Smith. So, for the first one I'm going to be doing is belonging. And my special guest for this week is the Sorceress, all the way from Castle Grayskull. But sometimes when we're looking for relationships, we want to have a sense of belonging or a sense of purpose, and sometimes we have a hard time fitting in, or maybe we feel like others are kind of pushing us off to the wayside, and we feel like maybe we are just kind of out of balance and outside of ourselves, and that can be very stressful and straining on people. And so sometimes we just need to feel like we belong to something, to someone, to somewhere. And so with me doing this is my sense of purpose, this is my sense of belonging. So we're just going to kind of get right into it. And we're just going to just pull 2 cards from the Major Arcana from the Witch's Tarot for each side. And the left side is going to represent the female or the submissive. And the right side is going to represent the male or the dominant aspect of the relationship. So we can kind of get an idea of what's going on in the relationship in and of themselves. Now, because this may be where you find your belonging, or maybe it may be easier for you to find your way to belong to something, or maybe you're just not crossing the path the right way. And that's the first card for the female side. Card 1. Two. to get into it, we'll just go with the Major Arcana from the Witch's Tarot. This is just kind of like, things to think about and things to consider. This isn't necessarily, a situation of, grave importance, but these are just things, just kind of bear in mind, and maybe, some things about yourself that, you just aren't maybe comfortable with, and you're just not quite ready to confront at this point in time, but it needs to be brought up to the forefront. Justice. So, on the feminine aspect, you may feel like you're being treated unfairly, and that, you're being, you feel like you have a certain amount of judgments or penalties against you, and maybe, you feel that maybe other people are being overly critical of yourself, but you may also being overly critical of yourself as well. The Death card. So this can be, a literal death, but this could also be, maybe you've had to say goodbye to relationships, or you've had to say goodbye to something that meant a lot to you, and you're struggling with it because it was something that had been there for you for a really long time, and you're having trouble letting go. And if you can't really let go, you really can't move on. The Hanged Man. Again, this one is reversed. So this could be that, you're trying to struggle against something, and right now, at this point in time, it's saying that, just be still, stop, and listen. And maybe you need to take on a different perspective or a different point of view. The Tower, also reversed. So, a core belief system has been brought into question, and, maybe that structure that, you counted on is not as dependable as it once was, or maybe there's something has happened to where you just felt like that was just pulled right out from underneath you, and you need to, find a way to move on. And of course, this could be, where the Death card comes in, is they're saying that you're having a hard time letting go. Now we'll jump into the actual read. And the first card for both sides is what is being held back. So basically, what for the belonging, maybe this person or this structure or vice versa, these two things, if you're the female or the submissive in the relationship, and if you're the male or the dominant in the relationship, these are something that, is being held back. The Fool. So, yeah, as you can see, little Alice running with the cat, she wants to run forward. She, wants to be energetic. She wants to be, innocent and playful. And, maybe you feel like, because of the past situation of, with the Justice and the Hanged Man, that maybe you've kind of, left before you looked, but you want to do that again, but you're exercising a certain amount of caution. But, you want to be playful, and you want to have, that sense of innocence again. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, when you're innocent, you're also kind of naive and gullible. So we'll look at the male or the down aspect of the card. The Queen of Cups. And, that's, a person of authority and understanding, but she is also someone of emotion and someone who is very involved, and she's not one to, just to be very easily led astray. And, this person's heart is engaged in something, or a deep concern for loved ones, and, and maybe you're just kind of stuck in your own sense of emotional well-being, that, maybe you're not realizing what the other person's feeling, and, maybe you're being a little bit too well guarded, and that maybe that's why the person in the Fool is, kind of, holding back that sense of innocence. the card number 2 for the what's under the surface. And the Lovers is that, what's under the surface is that, you're capable of making well-balanced choices. But sometimes, if you have a tendency that it'll take too long to make the choice, in which case the choice or others, people involved in the choice will be made for you. But it's okay to, not necessarily second guess. It's okay to exercise caution. But, it also is saying that, you need to make good choices before you proceed. So let's go on to the second one over here on the male or dominant side. The 6 of Wands. And normally this is a sign of achievements, of being able to progress or to move forward. But, maybe it's just, you can maybe either celebrate it a little bit too early, or maybe you just, are just taking your time trying to make the best decision, but you also may be thinking that, that now is a good time to relax, in which case, and just, you're taking too much time to just, sit on your butt and not really do anything. And this is a time that, you really should do something, because this person here is trying to make a choice, and you're not doing anything. You're not making a choice. You're kind of waiting on them. We're going to kind of look at like what's good or bad about the situation here. So we'll go to the female side of it. The 2 of Pentacles. And basically they're juggling a lot of things at this point in time. And they're taking a difficult task and they're making it look really easy, because they've got a lot on their plate right now. So that could be a good thing or that could be a bad thing, because maybe they need someone to help them kind of, take some of that strain off for them, and, make things a little bit easier for them, make them feel like, they're not trying to do so much. And the King of Swords. So that's what's the good and the bad about it, is that, with the King of Swords, authoritative figure, so maybe, which is kind of the good part, because, you're getting somebody who's intelligent and knowledgeable to bring something to the table to maybe help this one out. To help maybe bring a little bit more order, and maybe so they're not juggling as much. And this person could really benefit from your insights and your wisdom. And, so don't be afraid to act on it, but also don't be forceful. Don't just say, hey, look, you're doing this wrong and you're doing that wrong. Be encouraging, be nurturing, be patient and understanding. And the number 5 card, how the other person is feeling. So you need to take that into consideration as well, as everybody's feelings. And with this card, Temperance. The other person in this relationship is, they're being very emotional, they're conflicted, and so, instead of, thinking rationally, they're reacting just on sheer emotion, and they're not at a point where they're not going to make necessarily the best choice, but they're going to make what the choice that they're going to make is what makes sense to them at that point in time, based on their emotion. And the Four of Wands is here for the dominant or the male side. So Alice is sitting down there with a couple of kittens. Looks like she's having a picnic. And in the background, she looks like, she has a place of, stability. So maybe, you need to show that to this person. Show them that you can be contributing and that you can be patient and understanding, but also that you're stable. And at the top, the Page of Wands. So, the Page of Wands and the Fool, they have a tendency to, and since the Page of Wands is reversed, it's saying that, they're rushing into a situation, and, Page of Wands and the Fool, when it's reversed, I said it before, but, they tread where angels dare not go. So, that's something to keep in mind. And then the dominant or the male aspect in this is the Queen of Swords. And when she shows up, this is a person of high intellect, somebody who's very smart, somebody who has a lot of experience, and, they can communicate themselves very well, and they learn from their experiences, and, they're not jaded or bitter. So this person really wants to, be there for you and help you. So this is a good sign that, it's kind of coming to a head to where this relationship, once you get past these various issues, can become very well and balanced out. So we're going to go to the last card in the read, and that is the outcome. The Page of Swords. And when the Page of Swords shows up, it's the sign of new beginnings. You both can agree that, what you want, how you want it, and, you've got your plans of knowing what you got to do in order to achieve it. But you got to get your communications together, and, you got to learn to understand each other's emotions, and not necessarily anticipate each other's emotions, but, be tolerant and, be temperate, use temperance to kind of help you guide your path. But for the belonging, so you will find your way and it will balance out. And, as long as you use your intelligence and your wisdom and you use everything that you can bring together into this relationship, you're going to have a really good start. And so you're going to find that place of belonging. And this could either be, with a job or a friend or a family member, or, you just started a new relationship, you're not quite sure where it's going, but it's going to create that bond, that sense of belonging for each other, and it's going to meld very well together. So if you chose the belonging card, I have really good feelings for you guys. So I wish you the best of luck. Thank you for watching my channel. And again, stay safe and be blessed. Thank you for watching. Hit like and subscribe. Stay safe and be blessed.